Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. This is a bombshell you won't want to miss. Now, let's get straight to the heart of the matter. The atmosphere in the room is electric as Jasmine Crockett steps up, her voice steady and commanding. Today, I bring before this Congress evidence that exposes a deep and troubling corruption at the heart of our government, involving none other than Congressman Jim Jordan. She pauses, letting the weight of her words settle over the chamber. This is not speculation. This is a documented truth, hidden behind layers of secrecy and deception. For too long, these dealings have escaped public scrutiny, shielded by those in power who think themselves untouchable. She gestures to a stack of files and folders beside her. What I hold here are records, bank transfers, emails, and sworn affidavits that connect Congressman Jordan to illicit payments and backdoor deals with contractors who profited off taxpayer money. Jasmine's tone grows sharper. This corruption is not just a personal failing. It undermines the very foundation of our democracy. It threatens the trust that citizens place in their elected officials and erodes the integrity of this institution. Eyes in the room widen. Whispers ripple through the members. Jasmine fixes her gaze on the cameras, speaking not just to the chamber, but to the nation. This Congress must act. We cannot allow those entrusted with our governance to betray us for personal gain. The evidence will be clear, and the time for excuses is over. The stage is set. The battle lines are drawn. The truth is about to be unleashed. Jasmine steps forward with determination, pulling a document from the stack beside her. Her voice is steady, every word deliberate. Let me present the first piece of undeniable evidence linking Congressman Jim Jordan to a web of corruption. She holds up a confidential report, its pages filled with detailed bank transactions. This document reveals a series of suspicious transfers, large sums of money funneled through hidden accounts, traced directly back to contractors awarded lucrative government contracts under questionable circumstances. Jasmine's eyes scan the room, locking with skeptical glances from some members, while others shift uncomfortably. These contractors, who should have been subject to rigorous oversight, instead became beneficiaries of favoritism and bribery, lining their pockets at the expense of hardworking taxpayers. Her voice hardens. Congressman Jordan's name appears repeatedly, not as a mere bystander, but as an active participant orchestrating these deals. The trail is clear, and the corruption undeniable. She continues, "This is not conjecture or political theater. It's a call to accountability. Every dollar misappropriated weakens public trust and strengthens cynicism toward our government." Jasmine's tone is unwavering. The American people deserve transparency and justice. It's time for Congressman Jordan to answer for these actions, not hide behind partisan rhetoric. A hush falls over the room as Jasmine's words reverberate. The stage is set for a confrontation that will shake the foundations of power. As Jasmine lays out the damning evidence, whispers ripple through the halls of Congress. Members exchange uneasy glances, some shifting in their seats, others exchanging hurried, hushed conversations. The gravity of the allegations hangs heavy in the air. Some faces betray shock, while others mask discomfort behind forced expressions. Jasmine doesn't falter. She raises her voice, her tone slicing through the murmurs. I know some here may try to dismiss this as political grandstanding or baseless accusations, but the facts don't lie. She steps closer to the center of the chamber, commanding attention. This isn't about party lines or political games. This is about the very fabric of our democracy being torn apart by those elected to protect it. Her eyes scan the room. I challenge any member here, anyone who doubts the truth of these claims, to examine the evidence personally, to look beyond partisan loyalty and see the corruption for what it is. The chamber grows quieter, the tension palpable. Jasmine's words have pierced the usual defenses. This is a call for accountability, for justice. We owe it to the people we represent to confront corruption wherever it festers. She pauses, letting the weight of her message settle. Congress must rise above division and take action, not just for today, but for the future of this nation. The atmosphere shifts. The battle lines are drawn clearly now, and the stakes have never been higher. Jasmine's voice sharpens as she presses deeper into the heart of the corruption scandal. Let me be clear. This isn't just about a few questionable transactions. This is a calculated, systemic effort to siphon taxpayer funds into private pockets. She gestures toward the files stacked beside her. The records show money funneled through shell companies, disguised payments, and contracts awarded without proper oversight, all pointing back to Congressman Jordan's direct involvement. The chamber listens intently as Jasmine details the complex web of financial maneuvering. These aren't isolated incidents. They are part of a larger scheme designed to evade accountability and enrich a select few at the expense of the public. Her tone becomes more forceful. While ordinary Americans struggle to make ends meet, this corruption steals from the very programs meant to support them. It undermines public trust and weakens the foundations of our democracy. Jasmine pauses, eyes fixed on the room. Congressman Jordan has repeatedly denied these allegations, but the evidence tells a different story. It's time to stop the cover-ups and face the truth. She looks directly at the members of Congress. We must demand transparency, investigations, and ultimately justice. Anything less is a betrayal of the people who put us here. The chamber erupts in a mix of shocked murmurs and calls for action. Jasmine's words ignite a firestorm, setting the stage for a historic showdown. Jasmine steps forward, voice ringing clear through the chamber. Congressman Jordan, the American people deserve answers. You can continue to deny these allegations, but the evidence is irrefutable. The time for silence and evasion is over. She fixes her gaze on the empty seat where Jordan usually sits. I challenge you to face these charges head on. If you believe you are innocent, prove it publicly. Let the truth be known, not buried beneath lies and deception. Jasmine's tone grows stronger, resonating with conviction. This is more than a political game. It's about the integrity of our democracy. If those entrusted with public office abuse their power for personal gain, they betray every citizen and weaken the foundations of our nation. She turns to the rest of Congress. We owe it to the American people to act decisively, to investigate thoroughly, and to hold accountable anyone who breaks the public trust. The room erupts in murmurs, some nodding in agreement, others visibly shaken. Jasmine's challenge reverberates beyond the chamber, sending a clear message. Corruption will no longer be tolerated. The room quiets as Congressman Jim Jordan rises, attempting to regain control. His voice is measured, but carries an edge of defensiveness. These allegations are baseless and politically motivated. I have always acted in the best interests of my constituents and have upheld the law with integrity. He gestures toward the documents Jasmine presented. I challenge anyone to prove otherwise. These so-called evidences are nothing but fabrications and attempts to tarnish my reputation. Jordan's eyes scan the room, searching for support, but he encounters skeptical faces and strained expressions. His tone wavers slightly as the pressure mounts. This is a witch hunt disguised as oversight. Political opponents will stop at nothing to undermine my work. He takes a breath, attempting to steady himself. I urge Congress to focus on the real issues facing our country instead of chasing baseless accusations. Despite his words, the courtroom feels the tension. The once confident congressman now appears unsettled as Jasmine's evidence and unwavering resolve continue to weigh heavily on him and the chamber. Jasmine stands firm, her voice filled with unwavering determination. Now, I present the evidence they hope to bury, a video recording that exposes the truth behind the documents. She presses a button, and a large screen lights up with footage. The video captures Congressman Jim Jordan calmly negotiating illicit payments, his voice steady, but his words revealing a conspiracy long hidden in the shadows. This is not fake, nor is it doctored, Jasmine emphasizes. These are facts caught on camera, undeniable proof that cannot be ignored. A murmur spreads through the chamber. Members of Congress whisper and react, some visibly shocked, others exchanging nervous glances. Jasmine continues, "This is the real story they tried to keep hidden, but today it's brought to light." She turns directly to Jordan. "How long will you continue to hide the truth? This is your moment, to admit or to keep lying." Supporters in the room erupt with cheers and tension rises. The video sheds light on deep corruption, placing Congress under immense pressure to demand accountability. Jasmine stands resolute as she reinforces her accusations with powerful testimonies and expert analyses. This case isn't built on just documents and videos. It's supported by credible witnesses who've come forward to expose the truth. She gestures toward a screen displaying statements from whistleblowers, former insiders who worked closely with Congressman Jordan and witnessed the corrupt dealings firsthand. These brave individuals risked everything to ensure the public knows the extent of the betrayal. Jasmine's tone intensifies as she references expert financial analysts. Independent audits confirm irregularities in the contracts and payments. These aren't mere discrepancies, they're signs of deliberate fraud. She fixes her gaze on the chamber, speaking directly to the lawmakers and the nation watching. Every piece of evidence, every testimony paints a clear picture. Congressman Jordan abused his position for personal and political gain. Her voice softens yet remains firm. We owe it to the American people to act decisively, to investigate thoroughly and hold accountable those who betray public trust. The chamber shifts from skepticism to growing urgency. Jasmine's case is no longer just an accusation. It's a movement demanding justice. Jasmine steps forward, her voice steady and resolute as she delivers her closing words. Today, we stand at a crossroads. The truth has been laid bare before this chamber, and the American people have witnessed the betrayal of their trust. She scans the room, making eye contact with every member. Corruption like this does not just weaken institutions, it erodes the very foundation of our democracy. It is our sacred duty to confront it head-on and restore faith in the system. Her tone grows stronger, echoing through the halls. Let this be a message to all those who abuse their power. No one is above the law. We owe the citizens transparency, accountability, and justice. Jasmine pauses, letting her words settle into the silence. The time to act is now. For the sake of our democracy, for the future of this nation, we must stand united against corruption. The chamber remains quiet, the weight of her words hanging heavy in the air. Even those who doubted are left speechless, knowing that the battle for truth has been irrevocably changed. As Jasmine sits, the energy in the room shifts. This moment marks not just an accusation, but a turning point.